Greetings and blessed day to you once again. Welcome to Season 4, Segment 18, where I'm going to be presenting a revelation mystery, a deeper mysterious insight for the year 2021 on the COVID 2021. And I'm going to be presenting this revelation in the season of the Territorial Spirits, which is now Season 4. The Territorial Spirits Season 4, Segment 18. We are coming from a ruthless and merciless COVID-19, which massacred and scattered, dividing the bodies both of the saints and the unbelievers in the 19 pandemic. And God gave me a revelation concerning the 2021 pandemic scare, which he defined as the second seal, death spirit. The second seal, death spirit, is an angel, spirit of death, that is about to be unleashed by God in COVID-21. So I want you to listen to this revelation, which is going to be explained through scriptural reference. To those that read my articles on other social platforms like Facebook, I write according to the voice of God, but I'm going to reveal this one using scriptural revelation and scriptural reference to those that always question everything that God has presented concerning his scriptural reference. So, welcome to the Season 4 of the Territorial Spirits, which is now in Segment 18. And we are focusing on what is called the angel spirit of death. And inside the angel spirit of death, we are focusing on what is called the second seal, death spirit. And we are further focusing on what is called the second wave, death influence. The second wave, death influence. This will be the COVID-21 revelation. So for us to understand more on this revelation presentation from God, let's get into scriptures. In Revelations chapter 6 verse 3, and it reads, "And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, 'Come and see.' This seal was a book, and it's a book that is there in the spirit, in the heavenly places, that is safeguarded even by the angels of God. But only one that was chosen before the foundations of the earth to open and to unlock the seals of that book that holds the secrets of both heaven and earth is he that was also allowed to descend upon this earth and conquer darkness and conquer evil and conquer all the natural laws of this earth and ascend back and rule again in an immortal realm where he lives forever, and he is the Son of Man. And he is the one that unlocked the book after a stronger angel that resides in the highest realms of heaven proclaimed with a loud voice, uttering and calling for he that was worthy to open its seals. But the seal that I'm going to explain is the second seal, which the mysterious beast that resides in the glorious presence of God, that resides in the heavenly places, called out and said, "Come and see." What is being called out there and referred by this beast, saying, "Come and see," is a mystery or a secret that was not only written, but that would identify and reveal things that were yet to come in Revelations 6 verse 3. And when he had opened this seal, I heard the second beast, which was not only the second beast, but he that opened also the second seal. And he said, "Come and see the things that were going to happen." And in Revelation 6 verse 4, and there went out another horse that was red. This vision that is being seen in a book. It's not being seen on a screen, but it is being seen inside a book, meaning that nothing can happen that is not written. That is the duty and the higher calling of anyone that is a writer, a scroll writer of Revelations, because these are events that were written already in the book of life that are merely being fulfilled. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. The fiery red horse, representing blood. But this blood, it needs to be explained how it's going to be shed and why this horse was red. All that needs to be explained because red represents blood. And every time you come across the color that is red, you know that it's an informative sign that reveals or that interprets or translates danger ahead. And the red horse and he that sat on it, there is he that sat on it, and the horse represents the mission, and he that sat on it represents the missionary, the one that has been given the mandate to carry out the assignment that is required on the mission, sitting on the mission. So the horse and the rider thereof have got one mission which joins together to complete a full mission. And the rider thereon was given power to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword, and that they should kill one another. Remember, don't forget that I'm explaining that this is the second seal, which represents the second wave death influence. In the second wave death influence, which is being revealed by the second seal that has been unlocked by he that lives forever, is going to be a tragedy of death massacres that are going to be unleashed upon humanity, not by the wrath of the nature of God, but by the wrath and the nature of man. The first death is the death that is unleashed by the wrath and the nature of God. And when I'm talking about the nature of God, I'm talking about what God has already prescribed and predetermined beforehand, what He has already determined as God under His capacity. But the second wave, which has been unleashed by the second seal, has got its own influence, and its influence is inside the fact that they should kill one another. And you realize that this second wave is man-made. It is not coming as a wrath that was unleashed by COVID-19, which was the first seal of death massacres. The first death spirit, the first angel of death that was unleashed in 2020 was a death spirit that was unleashed according to the nature, according to the predetermination, according to the capacity of God. But the second wave is man-made and inspired and influenced by the wrath that is designed by the weapons of humanity. And they were given power to kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. The one that was given a great sword is the one that sat on it, who is the custodian of the death spirit, who is given the mandate or the capacity to carry out the assignment of how they should kill one another, who represents the scientist of this world, who will kill a massacre of humanity that resides upon the earth using the evil invention of scientific advancements to unleash the wrath of God using the man-made evil ambitions and desires of men of ruling and controlling this world. For it's about power and money and conquering this world. And in Revelation 6 verse 8, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. And hell followed him with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with the sword, with hunger, and with the death, and with the beasts of the earth. After the one that has been unleashed there, that has been given the power to kill, automatically he that followed was death. But death was being accompanied by hell. Why was death being accompanied by hell? Because the activities and the assignments that have been designed inside death, who will massacre and consume many, are the activities that are the same that will captivate many inside hell, which is not only a spirit but a platform. And power was given unto him over a fourth part to kill the earth, meaning that it's a wave that will strike on the four corners of the earth, but it will strike in a random spiritual manner. It will not strike everyone. And I'll explain why it's not going to strike everyone, just like the same manner and spiritual fashion that COVID-19 used. So death will come and consume many, and after consuming many, he will deliver also the massacres. of the death that have been consumed to hell that follows him. And according to the explanation that is given, that says, "Behold, I saw a pale horse." The pale horse represents a death that is inspired by a sickness. Why this horse was pale is because there is a spirit that comes to kill, but first it should kill through health issues. The pale horse, whose name was death. Remember, I said that the horse is the mission, and the mission inside this pandemic is to kill with the sword of sickness, with the sword of a plague, a pestilence that will come through health issues. So, in Revelation 7, verse 2, "And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the four angels, to whom it was given power to hit the earth and the sea. And after these things I saw the four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree, saying, Hate not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our God in their foreheads." Meaning that in all the death massacres that will transpire, there are seals that have already been placed, the spiritual signs and marks that have already been placed on the foreheads of those that shall not be conquered by death, and those that shall not be delivered to hell in the process. And in Revelations 20, I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life, the same book that was opened in the beginning. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, the same things that were inspired by the same book, of how they were going to die, how they were going to kill each other in the second wave, which is man-made, which is man-inspired, which is man-influenced, to kill one another for the sake of world rulership, control, territorial power control, territorial domain, power control, greed, selfishness, ambitions, money, and all other powers. And the dead were judged out of those actions, out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. Why is this being described as the second death? Because it is being inspired by the second wave death influence. It is also being extracted from the second seal death spirit. And the second seal death spirit is the second death that represents any form of death that is designed as a weapon, that is a sword that will strike men, being a weapon that has been designed by another man. It might come as a plague, it might come as a war, but all those, they are weapons that have been designed by men to kill one another for the sake of their evil glory of having control in this world. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them, and they were judged every man according to their works. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. And that was the last death, burning in the eternal, everlasting fires of hell. So, people of God, I hope you have understood the presentation and the introduction of the second wave death influence, how it's going to strike the COVID-21 revelation. Until next time, have a great blessed day.